what we're going to do here is we're going to create a tool for everybody to help. You got any professionals that you'd like to sponsor? Okay, so we're going to create a tool that you can use for yourself to say, why would someone in this profession be interested, or would they need to build a LifeWave business? The second reason is for when you're talking to an attorney, and you might not be an attorney. Maybe you're myself. I negotiated my way out of high school. I can take and give them the audio, zip it to them, and then Mena can talk to them as an attorney and tell them why, and really get down deep into why they need to have it, because they can talk attorney to attorney. That's a tool you can use. All right, so let's go at it, okay? Okay, welcome everybody. We're here in Orlando, Florida. We got some great professionals from all different careers. As we ask you the question, make sure that you say your profession real quick so everybody can understand what profession that you've got. So, Rick Parlente, realtor, can you tell them a little bit about your profession, and why would a realtor need to take advantage of the LifeWave opportunity?
I thought about that when you asked me about the question earlier, and I thought I really should just pose that question to you, because you're the one that called me as a realtor and enrolled me day one, so I should just remind you of that. But having said that, I've been a real estate agent now for 37 years. Well, it's a great career. We made a lot of money. It wasn't without a lot of time, effort, and energy. And what I've noticed, here I am 37 years later, and I'm still only as good as the last transaction that I've done. You're broke after every single sale, so you have to go out and do it all over again. And although that's my bet, I made it and I'm going to live with it, that's fine. All of a sudden, I get the phone call from Steve, and he shows me a way to break free. So I wanted to get time free and financially free. So we all realize that you have to be financially free to be time free. You got to replace it one way or the other. And so the environment changed. It took me a while to get it, because I've been coached for a long time. Difference being is I pay $25,000 to $30,000 a year to be coached, and this is free. It's a really novel concept. And so once we were in it for just a little bit, we started realizing, the seeds we plant go on forever. The seeds I plant in real estate are just for a day. And so I got into that gerbil wheel, and it didn't have a way to get out. And Steve showed me a way, and we applied ourselves, we changed our environment, we changed how we coach, and here we are 30 months later and loving every minute of it.
All right, great, Rick. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Dr. Prieston, tell them what kind of doctor you are, and why would somebody that's talking to one of their doctor friends, why would a doctor need this opportunity?
Well, I'm a surgeon. And I have to tell you, don't be afraid to talk to doctors. I don't know if you heard about it, but a lot of doctors are employees of corporations now, or employees of hospitals, and they don't get to really treat you the way they would like to. They're being controlled by dictates according to profit loss statements. And so there's a lot of frustration among doctors now. And there's a lot of burnout among doctors. Some primary care doctors are seeing 35 to 40 patients a day, and then they have a stack of charts and labs that they have to go through that's about 4 feet high on their desk before they can go home. So a lot of them are dissatisfied, and a lot of them may not have an exit strategy. So they're looking, and they may not know that they're looking, but they're open.
Wow.
And so when you talk to them, you may not have a lot of time. And so the drip and zip technique probably works best with doctors. And you may need more than one exposure because of status issues. It may be difficult for them to realize, that they need to look at other options.
Yeah, that's very good.
So it's very important. Just take a cautious approach with them. Try not to tell them the science. Let them research the science on their own. And I think that eventually you may get through. Steve and Gina had to approach me more than once. So keep at it, be subtle, be cautious, and they're looking, so don't be afraid.
Wow. All right. Thank you, doctor. All right, Colleen, as a corporate executive, tell everybody why somebody should talk to their executive friends. Tell them a little bit, what was your background again?
I am happy to do that. I am one of those girls who got into the corporations at the very bottom of the ladder, and I climbed all the way to the very, very top. And learned a lot along the way, but I lost a lot along the way too. So I'm so happy to share this with people in my profession. You know, corporations are loaded with bureaucracy and politics. There are massive, massive structured roles. You're going to be micromanaged where you are. And there's long hours. And if you're really good, they put you on the road and you travel. And I retired 3 years ago when I was 70, and that takes a toll on you. And it's not fun being in hotels every other week and on the road. And, by the time most people in the corporations reach retirement age, you're shot. Mm-hmm. Because if you're really good, you have so much stress and pressure on you to perform, because they pay you usually in 100% commission, because that's incentive. That's the way to get more out of you. And that's how they get the most employees, because those of us that are good say, hey, if I work harder, I'll make more. It doesn't always happen. So like me, you might end up at the end of your retirement life in really poor health. Like when Steve and Gina called me, my health was shot. I had been taken away by ambulance 3 times for severe heart palpitations, shortness of breath. I used to have flashes coming out of my eyes, and it wasn't a good scene. And I never, when they called me, thought, at 70 years old, am I even capable of working again? My health was so bad. So in my case, I would look at any of my business partners and I would say, you can't get here fast enough. Wow. In my career, I went into over 7,500 businesses. I saw not only the health of the businesses, their inventory, cash control, employee productivity, ease of operations, and that type of thing, but I saw the health of the business owners. And, there's nothing like having good health, and this is what you need to do.
Thank you very much, Colleen. Sounds like a career you want to encourage your kids to get into. All right, maybe as a developer, people would want to, why would somebody talk to one of their developer friends, ER?
That's a very good question. Well, one of the things that I remember my father, when he was an educator, 5 years before he retired, he was trying to decide what he wanted to do after retirement. And he couldn't find anything that made sense. All of his friends he interviewed, no one had anything that he really wanted to do. Until he met one of his other friends who started talking about shifting from photography to graphic design. So it was an aha moment on the camera, but he felt like he could do that. Long story short, he made a decision to do it, took some classes, bought the best equipment, and when he retired 5 years later, he had tripled his income. I've been a developer for 36 years. It's a very high demand opportunity, very expensive. You got to have vision to see things before they happen. And you don't always get paid when you make a decision. I'm finishing a home right now that I've been working on for 2.5 years. I just finished a house a couple months ago. So in our business, you get paid every now and then. So I'm closing out my career trying to decide what do I want to do after I retire, knowing that if the foot's off the gas, the money will start to slide, the lifestyle will be impacted. I needed something to fill in those gaps. I was looking. My friend Ken did not know what I was going through when I got the phone call. And I was stubborn, thinking that I had my own plan, but God had otherwise another plan for me. So we took a look at this, and it made too much sense to walk away. So here we are today, and I look at all of my business friends that I've worked with over the years, and they are still having the same conversation, how they're going to find the next deal, all the stress that goes along with that. Some having a great run, some having not. And here I am now. I am happy, like I get paid every week. My stress level's gone down from a 10 to a 2. I don't feel held hostage anymore to my own business. I'm in a really good space. And so if you've got anyone who's in this arena, trust me, they need to know about this incredible opportunity with LifeWave.
Wow. Thank you, ZR. Okay, Merritt is an attorney. Tell them what kind of attorney you are and let us know a little more about why we should talk to one of our attorney friends.
Well, thank you. So yes, a real estate attorney and a business attorney, but you start off practicing general practice and a lot of sleepless nights. Your life does not belong to you. Your clients practically own you. You've got to be available 24/7. They can call you whenever they want. So, my story. I was skeptical. This is a scam. And so I wanted nothing to do with it. But, I then soon realized, that I had been praying a prayer for many years, not for myself, not for my husband and I, but for community of people that I wanted to bless, but I just did not know how to do this. I either had to go out there and hustle and work really, really hard, which I was already doing, and I was probably going to have heart failure or something if I continued like that. I wanted the money. I wanted the options to be able to bless people. And so when I saw this as first, I was convicted that this was an answer to a prayer I've been praying for a very long time. And secondly, that this would give me the options. And this would be the opportunity that would then fund what I wanted to do to bless all these people. So really for attorneys, we work really hard, we make good money. If the clients are happy, sometimes they may complain a little before they pay their bills, and you're always, chasing them. But there's a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights. If anything happens to me, no one steps into my shoes to go to court. So I'm not kind of leaving a legacy business. It stops. The income was going to stop, and I wanted to leave a legacy. I wanted to leave something that would be ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. And I love the fact that there's a system that even though I'm busy, I can plug people into the system, that I don't need to be the person, that they can get everything that they want. And so that is a blessing. And honestly, I have never slept as good as I have since I started wearing the patch, and I'm forever grateful.
Okay, David, as a mortgage broker, tell us a little bit why somebody should talk to their mortgage broker.
Well, after 36 years, I'm tired of chasing the next customer. You're always looking, you're always working, you're not working banker's hours, you're open all the time. In the mortgage business, you work to hope to get paid. There's too many things that are out of your control, and sometimes a deal will fall through. And in this business, you work, get paid, work, get paid, work, get paid, and then you start to get paid weekly. And that's when it starts to build a legacy business, or as Kevin says, mailbox money. And it's also, in the same time, buying your time and freedom back.
Wow, thank you very much. So definitely talk to your mortgage brokers, right? Think about it. Would I say to somebody, hey, look where you're going to be in the next 30 years if you're 20 and you're a mortgage broker, they'd be looking at you, right? And you're saying, I want to get out. So you wouldn't want to encourage your kids to be a mortgage broker, is what he's saying. All right? Okay? I'm just common sense. That's what he said. Okay, Tony, as a teacher, tell us a little bit about why somebody should talk to teachers. I've always known, too, that teachers are some of the best people in this business as well.
Yeah, no doubt, Tony Boyer. And I tell you why teachers are perfect for this business. Because a good teacher pours their heart out for every student they come in contact with, which means they are a people person. That means that every young man and woman that they are making an impact in their life, they pour everything into. They do. But guess what? Almost every teacher I know on the planet just about lives paycheck to paycheck, even with master's degrees. Yes. So this type of business will absolutely be perfect for them, because they know a lot of other teachers and a lot of other people that need the financial opportunity. And people will trust you as a teacher. If you do it the right way, they trust you with that. So go find your teachers, talk to them with passion, because they know about that. They work with diversity all the time, all different walks of life, people from everywhere. And they learn to adapt, and they teach based on each individual person they come in contact with. Can you imagine what that means in this business to someone? I have a 21-year-old daughter who will have generational wealth because I will not stop until she has it. And as a teacher, that's what I designed my life around, was other people. Now I'm designing my life, because I'm retired from teaching, but I'm designing my life around other men and women and changing their futures forever with that same passion and getting paid very well to do so. That's why being a teacher and getting teachers is a great thing.
Wow, thank you very much. Great job. Okay, Tony, as a doctor, tell them what kind of doctor you are and why I should talk to my doctor if I've got a relationship with him, and maybe let them know on that, because I personally sponsored Gene and I, Dr. Presant and his wife, but we had a relationship. Isn't that a smart, you're looking for people relationship versus just walking into the office sometimes?
Right. Yeah, so my name is Tony Smith. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. So I actually work within a multidisciplinary facility with orthopedic surgeons and a bunch of other doctors. And this year alone, there was a 30% reduction in insurance reimbursement. So that was a big hit right off the top. So every doctor I know, whether it be an orthopedic surgeon, neurosurgeon, just any other doctor, is looking for ways to increase revenue without increasing overhead. They're looking for ways to make more money. So they're open. I mean, they're trying to bring more services. So what's happening is they're trying to see more people in the same amount of time work harder to make the same dollar, or even less. They're making less. And so they're open. And it may be scary to approach them, but every one of them, every doctor in our practice, we have like 12 doctors, is open to making more money without increasing their overhead and without increasing staff and liability and workman's comp and all the other things that come along with it. So don't be afraid to introduce them. The thing is, yes, having a relationship is a good way, because we get so many people that come to the practice and want to sell something. You know, they push this product, push this orthopedic, device, push this and that, and so we're very hesitant about who we lend our time to, and typically we don't lend our time to a lot of people. So having a relationship with somebody, a doctor, is a great start. But if you don't have that relationship, build a relationship maybe with somebody in the office, and you kind of get your way back door into that. Because in the forefront, they're going to be very resistant to do it. So what else was your question? But so I'll keep going. But one of the things, just on that alone, is that we actually used to have a pretty good sized trucking company, and so having a practice and having a trucking company, we had a lot of overhead. We had logistics issues. We had workman's comp. We had trucks. I mean, every one of our trucks were $100,000 a piece. Somebody goes and wrecks a truck, we got to come with another truck, and so we have all these other issues and things with a ton of overhead and not necessarily all the revenue coming in.
Right.
So having, being introduced to this type of business, we can go out and build a revenue without that type of overhead and without that type of stress, and not worry about workman's comp and all the other changes and regulations in California alone is crazy, but all the regulations that are going on. So again, people are looking, this is a way that I was like, we basically ended up giving up the trucking company and getting out of it because it was so stressful, and I'm trying to run a practice too, and it was just like overwhelming, and Michelle's like, we just can't do this anymore. So the introduction to this was very meaningful and powerful. So one of the things I was going to say about when you're introducing it to a doctor, the real money is made is when you build a network, right? So doctors don't understand, when you introduce them, they think, well, how much product can I move in the office back and forth? Well, that's minimal margins. You're not making money just moving product in the office. It's about building that network. So I'd like to explain it to doctors about, what if you franchise your business, your practice 100 times or 1,000 times, and you made small percentages out of all those practices without the stress and strain, without the overhead, the liabilities, and all the getting the business structures in place, but you made small percentages. The people that are out there doing the work make the biggest, like in this business, but you're making small percentages of all those franchises without all the headache. And so if you put it in that perspective, like, wow, if you multiply yourself and teach other people how to do and plug them into the system, that's the only way that's the only way I could actually penetrate into this type of business, because I don't have, I only have 24 hours a day. I got to sleep sometime. So I had to plug into the system and utilize the This Is It system and utilize the videos and things, because I can't get on a call and three-ways and everything all day long, because I have patients to do. And so I give them the link. I said, watch this video and do this. and then I follow up with them later. And so the system is very vital and important to duplication, and that's how you expand in a doctor, showing that there is a system in place that they don't have to create, that they can increase revenue without increasing staff, without increasing overhead, and make money when the lights are off and the doors are closed. How many practices do make money when the lights are off and the doors are closed? Nobody. Nobody does. So we have a vehicle. So if you want to hit a doctor, really to get their interest, to spark their, thinking about it, is just, hey doc, if I can show you a way to make money when the lights are off and the doors are closed without increasing your overhead and without increasing your staff, could you give me 5 minutes? And see.
I love the fact that you talked about business and not just moving patches. You're not going to create this income that we're talking about on the side that comes in without talking about business.
There's so many products and things out there. Like I said, everybody gets introduced to different things that is life changing. So they say.
Let's do this. 30 seconds. We got to keep it at 30 seconds. We got a commercial break.
Okay.
Right? Can we get everyone, starting with Rick, again, just tell them your profession and why would if a real estate agent or broker is taking a look at this, why should they take it serious? So we'll start you with Rick. Let's move down as fast as we can.
Again, yeah, I'm a real estate agent, and you might resonate with this. One time I was showing the opportunity, and when you draw out the left and the right and the 20 left, 20 right, what I ended up doing this particular time, and I've done it since, is I put the number 10 in my circle. And that reflected me spending 10 hours to 15 hours a week developing this business. I just wanted a number that was relatable. But then as I drew it out, I was putting 10 in everybody else's circle as well. And when we're all done at the end, I said, add this up, how much we have? Oh, we have 200. I said, well, what that represents is you have 200 hours of effort going on in your group this week. What are you putting in? 10. It doesn't change.
Wow.
I said, that's powerful for duplication. When you understand that, then you'll understand this industry in its entirety.
Thank you very much. All right, Dr. Presant.
Larry Presant, surgeon. I think if you're going to approach your doctor, one thing you might ask him is if he might be interested in a business opportunity on the forefront of energy medicine. And then pause. And you want to pique his interest. So that might get you that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's great. Colleen Crane, business consultant. In my industry, numbers don't lie. So if I was talking to a business professional in my industry, I'd say, you know what, you can create a freedom-generating asset with very low money out of pocket, very low risk, very low overhead. In fact, it's locked in every single month, forever and ever. $200 is all you'll have to put out per month. And you can create compounding residual income. Did you ever get compounding residual income? When you were working as a business consultant? Never. Have you ever gotten travel perks? No, you got a lot of, attaboy, Colleen. You did great, or a big, beautiful trophy. In this company, the potential for income is unlimited. And if you can find a few other people that have a little bit of fire in their belly, and you can share it with them, you can pass this down to generations, and their children, and their children, and their children.
Wow, thank you, Colleen. All right, CR.
As a developer, you got to keep the pipeline filled in. That takes a lot of money and effort. You can't control interest rates. Last year was my first time going on vacation in 12 years with the team here in LifeWave. So my time wasn't my own. Here we get paid every week. There's no stress in this. Nobody calling in sick. The weather doesn't impact what we're doing. The interest rate doesn't matter who's in the office. It's just a perfect opportunity for anyone in my business. If you want to leverage your time, make more money, join this LifeWave opportunity.
Wow. All right, Mena.
Mena Vitale Warmbier, and I'm an attorney. So attorneys are very difficult to break through to, but you know what? I've just let my life do the talking, because people are asking me, how on earth are you going on all these vacations? How on earth are you having such a good time? And I say to them, well, when do you want to start having a great time? Because most of them are worried, anxious, they don't sleep, they don't even have an exit strategy. They're going to work for the rest of their lives because they don't have a retirement plan. And so when I tell them, you know what, this has given me the option where I don't actually need to work. I can refer my cases out and make, like Dr. Tony was saying, a percentage of what they're making. Become a referral partner. Honestly, it's the best life. No legwork, they do the work, I get a referral, and quality of life. So when I share that with them, they're like, okay, well, we'll see. But they keep watching.
Yeah.
And once they see your lifestyle, they're going to come aboard.
Right. Thank you.
David Hunter, mortgage broker. So in the mortgage business, you get paid one time when you close your loan. And in this business, and the way I would approach a mortgage broker is to say, how would you like me to show you a business that if you put in the work, you'll get paid over and over and over, and build a legacy and build some residual income, not just that one time.
That's great, Kevin. Thank you. Tony.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, teachers taught you all how to be network marketers when you were in kindergarten. You want me to prove it to you? If I sang A, B, C, D, there it is right there. You know what that's called? A system that you were taught. But you didn't add a letter, and you didn't take a letter away. You did it exactly the way your teacher taught you to do it, and you did it with passion. Now, because of that, at the end of it, you say, well, Tony, what's that have to do with network marketing? What's the end of the song say? Next time, won't you sing with me? You were already singing it to somebody else, and you were proud of it. Now you only need to know one letter and two numbers, X and 39, and you take it to the masses, just like the rest of the country and the world, and we will make a difference in the lives of so many people. God bless you all.
Tony. Dr. Tony.
All right, so for like the personal physicians, the doctors that are in private practice, a lot of them don't have an exit strategy. They don't know a way out, and so this is a way to create that residual income for a retirement plan, because a lot of them are just trying to make ends meet and keep their practice open these days, and so they don't have that exit strategy. So that's another approach for when you can introduce it to them, like this is an exit strategy, this is a way you can set up that retirement that can continue to pay you residually for the effort you do. You know, not essentially one time, you got to put some effort into it, but you know what I mean, it keeps coming in as you build your team.
Hey, give it up for all these professionals. Sure, you're going to be able to get out there and sponsor a bunch of them. Thank you, everybody.